All right, we have Monday Night Football, Ravens and the Cardinals over there in Arizona. You and I both had, you're already shaking your head. You and I had both had really big games on the line in fantasy football. And I know we don't really dwell on the fantasy too much or get into it, but this was huge for both of us. Fortunately, it worked in my favor. Unfortunately for you, it did not work in your favor. um, I don't know if you want to delve into it or do you want me to keep going? Because you seem pretty damn disappointed right now.
Let me just say something.
Okay.
Joe Flacco is the most overpaid fucking player in the NFL. He got one touchdown, and it was handed to him on the 1 yard line by the defense. And he makes $100-something million, and I'm broke. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, uh, I do agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly that right after the Ravens won the Super Bowl and they gave Joe Flacco that giant contract, I I had the first reaction of going, "Whoa, whoa, let's slow down, guys." I mean, I know you just won the Super Bowl, but let's be real. Joe Flacco wasn't the reason that you won that Super
They
Bowl.
they made him the highest paid player in the NFL after that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, until Aaron Rodgers overbeat him, like I think three
right,
months
well, several
later.
players have now, but
Well, no, I'm
still,
just saying like that same year,
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers overthrew him like 3 months later or whatever it
But
was.
for a brief period, Joe Flacco was the highest paid man in the NFL.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you see this bread back there? I can't even get name brand bread. And this
Ravens,
dude's getting paid $120 million for what?
I think Ravens definitely shot themselves in the foot. They're 1-6 right now.
So the
They
the Cardinals did their best to give them the game, and they still couldn't take it.
Yeah, and I think that's something else to really talk about. The Cardinals were undefeated. The Cardinals were a very threatening team, and I know that they won. I don't want to take too much away from the Cards here, but they're definitely a beatable team. I mean, they just lost two in a row. They came somewhat close of losing this one against Baltimore,
Yeah,
and they don't look as scary as they did, in the beginning of the season. And it's unfortunate because they did kind of the same thing last year, but it was because Carson Palmer got hurt. Now Carson Palmer's still in there. Larry Fitzgerald is still playing really well. Chris Johnson's playing really well. Uh, John Brown is playing very well, and obviously their defense is playing extremely well. And you still are kind of falling off here, and it's kind of scary to think about because if they don't if they don't stay on task and are giving these games away to people or coming close to giving games away to people, Seahawks can come around by after the second half of the season and try to take that division back.
yeah,
And
they're lucky right now. The Seahawks are having a down year so far
yeah,
because otherwise, like the NFC West is probably that's not probably it's definitely the weakest it's been in quite a few years since maybe 2010 when a losing team went in.
yeah,
It's been the weakest it's been in about 5 years, and I think the Cardinals probably still have to be the favorite here because I mean they are ahead, and I mean, Seattle's been a pretty mixed bag. So
they've all been kind of mixed, to be honest. I mean,
yeah,
San Francisco is the worst team, and they look like a garbage team, but they do have a good defense. Uh, St. Louis is been all over the place. Some one week they look great, the next week they don't.
as usual.
As usual. Cardinals looked like amazing the first 5, 6 game or yeah, about 5 games into the season, and now they're they don't look as impressive, I guess, as they did. But I suppose that's kind of like the biggest thing is because when you come out week 2 and week 3, any team could look impressive, but everybody's kind of like, well, hold on, there's a lot of season left to play. We're at the midway mark, as of about right now,
The
and
one one more week,
Well,
but
yeah, one more week, but I mean we're approaching that
right.
halfway point of the season, and just this team that looked unbeatable. It looks very soft, I guess, is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, I mean, I think well, Seattle had a slow start last year, I believe.
They did,
Pretty mediocre start. So yeah, I mean, it's far from over. I mean, it really is.
and it could be because I guess I'll give Baltimore a little bit of a credit because every game I know they've been losing, but even was it week one? I think they played against the Broncos, or maybe week two. I don't know. We should go back on our old videos and watch them again. But
Yeah,
it was week one or week two that Baltimore and the Broncos play each other, and it was an extremely defensive game. So Baltimore still has their defense. Obviously, not their Super Bowl defense, but
right.
obviously a very good one. It's just Joe Flacco should not be paid how much he's getting paid, and I think that's gonna fuck them over for a while because
Yeah, they don't.
what
They can't get any receivers for him, like
right
targets. You
right and
know.
now after this their best receiver is Steve Smith, who's a veteran and retiring after this year,
Right.
so they're gonna have to hope to God that they're gonna get a great wide receiver out of the draft, which is looking like they probably could because
Yeah.
they're not having a great season and they're gonna have one of the first picks. But still, just because you draft a great receiver doesn't mean he's going to be a great receiver. Look how many receivers have been drafted or were started on a team that were not even in the like first 5 rounds of a pick and became giant stars in the NFL.
Sure. Sure. Not. I mean, an early draft pick isn't going to guarantee success by any means.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Sometimes it could help, but where else? I don't know. I don't know where else Baltimore's going to go, and I think John Harbaugh is good. I think John Harbaugh
yeah.
has been a good coach for him. I think he put too much trust on a quarterback that almost kind of got lucky his
He
Super
had
Bowl
a
run.
well. I mean, he had a really amazing postseason run that year. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
Like I think I forget what his stat line was, but it was double digit touchdowns and I believe no interceptions.
yeah,
So like he had a really good run, but like even his regular season wasn't like anything amazing. It was just like he played good for like 3 games. You know, that's not enough. I don't know if they were afraid they were gonna lose him or what the deal with that huge contract was. He has a damn good agent. I'll give him that much. His agent is like MVP right now.
yeah.
So
I think that definitely separates the line of like who's really like an elite quarterback and who's not. And I think you said it the best way is that just because you win 3 games doesn't mean you're amazing. You have to do this time and time again, season after season of putting up these stats. And clearly, Joe Flacco isn't that quarterback who could do it.
if anyone listening to this thinks Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback, I don't even like what the fuck? How? Tell
Yeah,
us, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us if
yeah.
you think Joe Flacco is elite, how you're so stupid. So,
I I would actually
um,
like to, because I'm sure Baltimore fans out there are going to defend Baltimore as much as you can. I mean, any fan would, and I understand that. But you almost got to be frustrated as a Baltimore fan at this point. You should
okay.
be. I mean, your team is in the gutter. Your quarterback isn't playing like how. Did he win MVP of that Super Bowl? I don't even remember. I think he
Uh,
did.
maybe.
So he's not playing like an MVP. He's not playing like a Super Bowl champion. He's not playing like he's playing about as good as RG3 right now. He's playing about as good as Colin Kaepernick right now, and that's pretty
He's
damn
playing a
bad.
little bit better than RG3 because, he is playing.
I suppose. So he's playing about as good
RG3,
as Colin
RG3's
Kaepernick.
keeping the bench warm, though. So,
Yeah, he's doing a good job with
yeah,
that. Anyways, I think this pretty much recaps.
yeah.
If we didn't even talk about highlights, but honestly, I think this is almost better than the highlights. It's kind of mind-boggling of what happened to Baltimore
I
this
mean,
year.
the biggest play of the game was a blocked punt from Baltimore, and it
Yeah,
didn't fucking matter. So
exactly. Yeah, I
the
think
the
that's
end.
I think that's why. I think that's what it came down to. Is anything defensively that Baltimore even did, it didn't
Right.
even matter. Like none of it really did. And
Nope.
I guess ultimately like Cardinals played good. They played good enough to win. And honestly, like you can say that. Like I mean, even coming from a Packers fan against San Diego the other week, they didn't play great, but you played good enough to win. And I guess that's all you can really ask for. So ultimately, recap: Arizona. I think maybe you got to step it up a little bit because Seahawks are nipping on your toes or on your heels right now, and
Sure.
if one little mistake and they could take over that division again. Now, Arizona and Seattle have not played yet this year,
Right.
so they have 2 games to try to decide that, and I think that would definitely be huge. Um,
Definitely. Definitely.
and
It's
hey,
gonna probably decide the division.
the fact that St. Louis has beaten the Cardinals and the Seahawks already, I think they're almost gonna like throw a wrench of who actually is gonna take that division in a way.
It's possible.
They might kind of screw over somebody in that whole regard, and it's very exciting. They've been an exciting division to watch, like you said, probably for the past 5 years. They're still exciting to watch this year again, and I think ultimately with that, we can pretty much leave it and everything.
Sure.
Again, anybody want to comment about Joe Flacco and even Baltimore and where the mistakes are and this and that, please, feel free. You can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Leave us messages on there. You can comment on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, do whatever you want. Retweet us, watch us what we got to do, and make sure to.
Anyone want to tell me or tell us Joe Flacco is elite in the comments? I will be more than happy to correct you in the comments.
There you go.
So
There you go. There's your challenge for the week. Monday Night Football. All
there you
right.
go.
Definitely